All right, for those of you that are new here, I am Nancy from Nancy Inspired, and I have a gift that I call soul telepathy. And I call it that because I'm able to hear what your soul is trying to tell you. When I do individual readings, it's just about you and what your soul is trying to tell you. When I do collective readings, it is what is good for the collective consciousness, what is good for all the people here at this moment in time. What do we need to know, including myself? So we're going to just get started. Hello, Jamie. Hello, KP. We're going to just get started by doing a little asking permission. Can I, man, shall I do a reading for my Insight Timer friends and family, both those that listen now and those that come on later? I'm getting a clear yes. Is there any reason why I shouldn't at this moment in time? Nope. Switch instructions. Then I'm just going to ask that we cleanse, clear, and balance this space. Creating a container and safe space for this practice today. Cleansing, clearing, and balancing anything that doesn't serve us, and creating a little bubble of protection. Sending out anything that doesn't belong in this space. And then I'm going to ask that everybody's intuition be raised to the highest level that they can accommodate with at this moment in time. Allow their souls to speak freely and clearly for everyone's highest and best good. And we're also adding a little extra armor, bubble of protection, so that anything that doesn't belong in this space instantly gets repelled and sent to the feet of God, where it can be transmuted into love. All right, so how it works is the first half of the live, I do sort of collective messaging, what's good for everybody. And then the second half of the live, you can put your names in for some individual readings. Don't put your names in yet because it'll get lost in the chat. I'll let you know when I'm ready. And that's about it. If you have any questions, lots of people here are regular people here, and so they can probably answer if I'm talking and don't hear it. So welcome Carolina and Jay. Welcome. Hello Lillian, and hello Marina. Hello everybody. Fabulous. All right, well then let's get started. What am I hearing today for the group? All right, this is kind of a whole bunch in one here. Hello Aderne. Hello Marina. What I'm hearing is grounding practices, that grounding practices are really important over this next little while. So what I'm hearing is that there is a lot of sort of cosmic energy going on. I don't know what's happening in terms of, numerology or the planets or astrology, but I'm hearing that there is a lot of sort of fuel being added to the fire right now cosmically. And how that's affecting us is that things that are lower vibrational tactics is the word that I heard. Lower vibrational tactics are kind of on a high. They're kind of in this place of, kind of setting these little fires everywhere. And this sort of cosmic energy is like setting matches to all of these little fires. And so there is this sort of fire of lower vibrational energy that's kind of sweeping through, and it's making people feel low and heavy and tired and stuff like that. And I can relate. I almost canceled today because I was just like, I just don't feel like it. But I'm like, but I love my people, so I'm gonna come on, and I'm so glad I did. But it just tired. So it's this energy that's making people just feel low and tired, maybe some anxiety. And it is these sort of lower vibrational energies that have kind of created these tinder boxes. And then what's going on cosmically is kind of fanning these flames. So what to do about it? What I'm hearing is grounding practices. Whatever your grounding practice is. So, even just having bare feet, which I do right now, and planting your feet firmly on the ground and just feeling the connection of the floor, of the ground, wherever you are. Maybe you're in a garden, but putting your feet firmly on the ground and feeling that connection and feeling those roots, that energetic root that goes right down into the center of the earth and grounds you into this beautiful earth energy, the creation energy, the creative energy, the constant flow of of creative energy that we have access to. So even right now, I'm actually doing it myself. Let's do it together right now, because I feel like maybe that's what we're being called to do. I just saw Carolina. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. So just take a moment and plant your feet firmly on the ground, or whatever surface is touching the ground. So if you're sitting on a chair, or sitting on the floor, or sitting on a surface, sitting on a bed, if you're laying, I know it's late for some of you, if you're laying down, just be aware of all the points of contact of the surface that you are on. And we're just going to take a couple of deep breaths and become really aware of all of the places that we are making contact with the surface, whatever it is, floor, bed, chair. I'm becoming aware of the floor underneath my feet. I'm becoming aware of the chair underneath my butt. I am just becoming aware of this contact with the surface. And as we do that, I'm being guided in this meditation. What we're going to do is we're actually not focusing on the grounding. We're focusing on the cosmic first. So this beautiful, brilliant white light that comes directly from divine source energy, and it filters down right through you, right through the top of your head, through your spine, down your back, and makes contact with the part of you that is connecting with any surface. And it's at that point of contact that it's almost like fertilizer, and it's like growing these roots. So that light that is coming from divine source comes right through you, right through the center of your being, through all of your energy centers, lighting up all your chakra areas, and it connects to the place that you are connecting to earth energy. And it's like a fertilizer. It instantly starts growing roots, strong, beautiful roots that are going deep, 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 deep into the earth. I'm seeing like reds and oranges and different colors. And so these roots are going deep, 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 deep into the earth. And as it connects deep, deep, deep into the earth, it is connecting you to the divine, cosmic, creative energy, the ebb and flow of life, the circles, the spirals, and that creative energy. And you are reminded that you have access to this divine grounding energy at any time, because you are a creature of this earth. You belong to this earth. This earth belongs to you. You belong to this earth, and you have access to this creative divine energy at any time that you need it. And as you connect to that divine cosmic energy, it's like a conduit. It's like a fertilizer. It just grows in rapid succession, this creative energy. And you are reminded that you have this creative energy within you at any time. We're just going to take a few deep breaths in just to connect to that grounding energy. All right, and as we slowly come back to this space, I hope that was helpful for people. What I'm hearing is that you have the gift, by being here on this planet at this time, by being born into this body, into this incarnation, into this time and space on the planet, wherever you are, you automatically have been given the gift of divine connection, of creative energy. And so at any point in time that you need to connect to that grounding creative energy, you can do so simply by putting your feet on the ground, wherever you are. It doesn't have to be on the actual earth, but by putting your feet on the ground, by being conscious of where you're making contact with the surface beneath you, you have the ability to connect to this grounding energy. What I'm hearing is use this, remind yourself of this, that you have been automatically given this gift. So even if you're somebody that can't visualize, or maybe, it's hard to picture that, you automatically have the gift of being grounded because you are born in this time and place on this earth. You are a child of this earth. You are a child of this energy, and you have access to this earth energy at any time whenever you need to ground. The times that you need to ground over the next little bit, what I'm hearing is there's, it's called chaos makers. That's what I'm hearing. Chaos makers, crazy makers. And so this chaos making energy makes us feel tired because it's hard to navigate. It feels like, well, recently we had a super big windstorm and I had to be outside in it for a little while, and it just baffled my senses. It's like being buffeted by the wind. It's like I couldn't concentrate on the direction I was going, what I was thinking, where I was. All I could feel was this wind buffeting me. And so it's like a wind that's being buffeted around you, and it's this sort of chaotic energy that's kind of trying to distract us, really. And the way to kind of combat this energy is to firmly ground, to stand firm, allow yourself to ground into the energy. I'm not sure what's happening cosmically, but I'm hearing that there's like it's fanning the flames of this sort of chaos energy. And so it's important for us to ground. Now, what I'm also hearing is that I got a whole bunch of thoughts at the same time. So in one of my special needs classes, AAC classes, we planted little apple seeds. We cut up apples, looked at the seeds, planted the little seeds, and they're growing into little seedlings. And when I was looking to try and see, like, how do we take care of these? One thing I found out is that you need to put a fan on them. You need to put some wind on them, or even ruffle your hands through them, because the trunks, the future trunks, right now they're just saplings, get stronger the more they have to resist some of the wind, some of the movement. And if they are grown inside and they never have that resistance, their trunks can't grow strong. So when you are feeling buffeted around, when you're feeling this chaotic energy that's like sweeping through right now, and you ground and you stand strong, what that's doing is making your trunk stronger, making your presence stronger, making your branches grow taller and bigger. Because what's happening, I'm hearing that even though there's this kind of weird chaotic energy that's like fanning these flames and a lower vibrational energy, there is also on the other side this awakening of people standing their ground and grounding to this energy and allowing their leaves and their branches to grow at the same time. So there's these two forces that are going on, and we're human, so we get caught up in it. So sometimes we'll get caught up in these negative energies and these like kind of chaos making flows, and then we'll ground and we'll be like, okay, I'm good, raise my vibrational energy, and then we're like caught up in the chaos again, and then ground back, and I can attest that's how I've been feeling this last week. It's like 1 minute I feel really grounded, next minute I feel like I'm all over the place. And sometimes I just feel tired. I actually napped yesterday. I didn't do anything. I napped. I lay on my bed with my granddaughter and we played some games. Like, it was just, I did as little as possible yesterday. And usually Saturdays are my like, okay, I'm going to be productive. And I just didn't have the energy. And I think that's part of this what's going on. So when you're feeling that way, allow yourself to ground. That reminds me, I made a list this morning of some recordings that I want to do. So I'm just going to grab my pen. I'm going to make a recording of grounding energy so that I can listen to it myself again. All right. Is there anything else on that? Just a reminder that there's a purpose. There's a purpose to this chaotic energy. There's a purpose, just like that, those little saplings that are trying to grow, the more they get a little bit of wind, the more they get a little bit of friction, the more they get a little bit of resistance, the stronger they grow into trees. So this kind of chaotic energy that's going on right now is actually serving us. As long as we ground and it doesn't knock us over, it'll allow us to grow into strong Strong trees. All right, I see some chats here. The Schumann resonance has been stronger lately, making this an ideal time to do grounding exercises. Hannah, I'd love to know more about what the Schumann resonance is, because I don't actually know, but I'm hearing it and I'm feeling that there's something going on cosmically that's fanning the embers of some of this lower vibrational energy. Oh, Caroline, I'm so glad that that was good for you. I'm going to record something similar to that. Alicia says, makes sense, Nancy. We're in Taurus season, which is a grounding sign of stability. On Friday, the 1st of May, we enter the full moon. This full moon brings the water element very strongly, and it can be a bit unstable and chaotic. That makes sense. That's what I'm feeling. It is usually best to ride the storm and not resist. Beautiful message to do this through grounding, just flowing with the current of water, not resisting the current, right? This full moon is a great moment of testing to see what you are doing can weather the storm. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate so much the wisdom of the people on this chat and in this community, because I hear these messages and I want to know more, but I have not spent the time, researching. And to be honest, I hear them as I'm hearing them, and then I forget that I was going to look something up. So I appreciate when people add things into the chat. So feel free. I am recording. I will put it into a track. I probably will refine it or just kind of do it again so that the quality is there, and then Insight Timer will accept it. It's the frequency of the earth. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Jay, the grounding meditation was amazing for me. Oh, wonderful. Never heard it done quite like that. I was just hearing what to tell you. So I'm going to listen back and... when I make up meditations, lots of times it's the same thing that I do while I'm doing this. I hear, what am I supposed to say? And it just comes out. So there are a lot of planetary alignments and a comet between the sun and the earth. Okay. Wonderful. All right, let's see what else we hear. So grounding is really important. Okay, we're still talking about grounding. So in our interpersonal relationships at this moment in time, because of the stuff that's going on and the energy that's going on and the tinder that's ready to ignite, it's really important that we regularly ground ourselves before having any kind of conversation that could be confrontational. So if you are feeling challenged and you need to have a conversation that might be a challenge in some way, spend the time grounding before you do. And when you ground, it will come. When you ground, it comes from that creative energy. So that's what I'm hearing. One of the things that came out in that little grounding exercise is that we are automatically gifted and a part of the creative grounding energy of the earth. When you look around you in nature, it is in a constant state of creation. Things are constantly growing and then they decay, which is also its own creation. And it's in a constant state of creation. We are automatically, by birthright, by being here, we have access to that creative energy. When you ground yourself into that creative energy before challenging conversations, before confrontation, before anything like that, then we are automatically grounding to creative, problem-solving, solution-based energies. So when you are having a difficult conversation, when you have to maybe set a boundary or ask for something or make a change, if you ground yourself in that earth energy, you are automatically asking for productivity, for something to grow out of this. So it doesn't just turn into conflict and, flatten things down. We are asking for it to grow. We're asking for it to grow. And so spend some time in this next little while as you're maybe navigating some challenging conversations. I'm even hearing when you're in the midst of a challenging conversation, because sometimes it's, one thing to be like, okay, I'm going to have this conversation, I'm grounding myself. And it's another when you're caught off guard and then boom, hit with this conversation or this difficulty. Become aware of your feet. wherever you are, become aware of your feet, or if you're sitting, become aware of the surface that you are sitting upon, and connect to that point of energy, because that is the point that you are accessing, that grounding energy, and it's available to you all the time. All right, let me just, Carolina, thank you for an emergency grounding track. I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually even call it emergency grounding track, because I could use it too. I'm just writing this down. Emergency grounding track. I will do that as soon as I can. All right. What else am I hearing? All right. This is the time to have some honest conversations with yourself. So, what I'm hearing is those little tinder fires that are all kind of set up, right? These little teepee bonfire. If you've ever had the pleasure of making a campfire, you stack everything, the tinder on the inside, stack everything so that it can blaze. There's all these lower vibrational tinder fires kind of set up. What I am hearing is that this is a time to have some honest conversations with yourself, because just like a fire, now I'm not an expert on fire, but a fire will burn the sort of loose, dry, kindling type stuff quicker than things that are maybe solid and have some moisture and are airtight, right? Fire can't affect that as much. What some of this lower vibrational energy is doing, this chaotic kind of energy is doing, is burning off the stuff that we don't need. So one time I was in Jasper, which is a beautiful place in Alberta, in the mountains, and I was talking to an Indigenous elder there, and he was saying, this was quite a long time ago, this was in 2013, he was saying that he was quite worried about the fact that the national park was not clearing out and doing sort of scheduled burns to get rid of the dead matter, and he was worried that it was going to become a forest fire, like a raging forest fire. This is in 2013. Well, a couple of years ago, that's exactly what happened. We had a raging forest fire through Jasper National Park, and it struck me. That was before the wildfire. It was in 2013 that he was talking about that. And he was sharing with me that his people, who, like his grandfathers and whatnot, before it became a national park, what they had talked about is that they used to do sort of these regular burns in different places to kind of keep the tinder, the natural tinder, from being there and having it all go ablaze. And so I'm not an expert on how to preserve national parks, but I just remembered that conversation. And then a couple of years ago was a big wildfire there. What I'm hearing is that these little tinder fires that are going on are also serving for us to clear out what we don't need. So we're being asked right now to have some honest conversations with ourselves. Am I truly on the right path? Am I actually living my truth? Am I doing what I need to be doing? Am I accepting things that aren't good for me? Am I, letting my fear get a hold of me and not allowing myself to move forward? Am I being truly honest and honoring what my soul is asking me to do and the steps I need to take? Am I doing this, or am I procrastinating? Am I afraid? Am I, and there's no judgment. There's no judgment. If you're afraid, you're afraid because of probably many reasons. But we're being asked right now, and these little kind of crazy making chaos fires, lower vibrational energy stuff, is actually sweeping through to allow us to take a good look on what is serving us, what isn't serving us, what is volatile for us, what is making us feel a little bit more sort of out of control, right? Because fire can be this beautiful, it can be a tool. It can warm, you can cook, it can transmute things. I feel like I just said this recently. It's like total deja vu. Sorry, I got distracted because I know that I just said this to someone recently, but I'm not recalling. But yes, that fire can be this beautiful transmuting energy, but burning out of control can cause all kinds of problems, right? So using this time to kind of burn out the deadfall, that's the word I'm looking for, all the deadfall, burning that away. So it allows us to kind of clear out what that is that we don't need. So allow this time to kind of be an energetic mirror, I guess, to allow us to know what is in our highest and best good, what is the direction we need to go, and what isn't, and clearing away some of that deadfall, allowing it to burn away. Hannah, yes, fire also activates the seeds, 100%. There's certain plants and trees that grow after a forest fire. It's tricky because it destroys a lot, but it also creates new growth too. It's the same in the US. It's the idea of being able to see through the landscape, right? Exactly, right? Clear away that deadfall. That's how the indigenous people used to landscape Australia for thousands of years. Yes, that's what it was. Johnny, thank you. I just had this deja vu of, I feel like I just said this already. Thank you. But I was like, wow, that felt very familiar. All right, I guess it's important messaging for all of us. All right, let me just ask, what else do we need to hear? First, I need to take a sip of tea. Passion fruit tea, and I made this mug on my birthday. A friend of mine took me to a pottery painting place, and I made that. Alicia, I love that the message all resonates. With this fire horse here, yes, and year 1 in astrology, all about transformation and death, beginning over again, really moving into working from our authentic selves, following our hearts and souls unapologetically. And you have so beautiful, Nancy, but I'm just hearing it. I'm hearing it from you. So it's the information that your souls are tapped into, and I'm just hearing it for all of us. I love, Alicia, how you validate as I'm getting the messages, and then you validate it. We're a good team. We're a good team. All right. What else do I hear? Okay. What I'm hearing is, and this isn't superficial, that self-care and prevention is important. So when we're continuing on the theme of fire, things that are adequately nourished, adequately cared for, they're watered, they're nourished, they're going to be hardier in terms of in the face of adversity, in the face of those little tinder fires, in the face of that crazy making energy, in the face of that sort of chaotic lower vibrational energy. If we are looking after ourselves and doing truly what we need to be doing for ourselves, we are going to be slightly less affected, or we're going to be more aware of how we are affected. So, for example, yesterday I did not feel like doing anything, and I have a hard time sitting still. That's just my personality. Probably from my upbringing, I have this like over sense of I need to be productive all the time. And yesterday I was like, you know what? I don't feel like doing anything. And my granddaughter and I cuddled and played some games on the bed, and I had a nap. Like I just, because I needed to, and I wasn't sick. There wasn't anything. But it's about looking after ourselves, making sure that we're being preventive. It's really easy to be like, oh, I should have, ate healthy foods. I should have drank more water. I should have, and right now is the time to be looking after yourself, because when you're looking after yourself, you're going to be less affected by this chaotic energy that is going around. how to look after yourself. What I'm hearing, that there's no hard and fast rule, that there are some that are like, oh, you need to eat a vegan diet, you need to eat whatever. What I'm hearing is the least amount of harm. So causing yourself the least amount of harm, causing the earth the least amount of harm. Now, that doesn't mean I'm telling you to be a vegan or vegetarian or anything like that. I personally can't be vegan. I was vegetarian for a long time, and I can't at this point. If it works for you, that's fine. But what I'm hearing is the least amount of harm. Now, energetically, what I'm hearing about that is about infusing your food with gratitude, which I love this message. So it doesn't matter. I mean, if you can eat organic and grain-fed and free range and all that kind of stuff, which is wonderful. If you can, that's great. If you can afford it, fabulous. If you can't, that's okay. Because what I'm hearing is energy transmutes the negative energy that maybe is put into it. So if before you eat, this is where prayer comes in. This is where, people who say grace before meals, is, extension of that is just that being grateful. I am incredibly grateful for the plants that made this tea and the hands that allowed it to come to me, and I'm grateful for the friend that took me to make this mug. I'm grateful for it, and if I think about these things as I'm grateful, and I infuse what I'm about to drink as I sip it with this love and gratitude. I feel like now I have to take a sip after saying all that. I am transmuting some energy into that so that it becomes more nourishing. So I'm hearing that is one way that we can look after ourselves and be preventive, is that we can infuse what we ingest with love and gratitude, which in turn fills our own energy with that higher dimensional energy of love. Sorry, I got distracted for a second because that's something I have friends that talk about, higher dimensional energy, and I don't always understand it, to be honest. And just now I had the sort of wisdom given to me that love is the higher vibrational energy, that love is a fifth dimensional energy. I'm not even going to pretend I totally understand that, but if anybody else has a better understanding of dimensional energies, if you can chime in, you're welcome to. But yes, as you tap into higher vibrational and higher dimensional energies of love, you're actually infusing that into your food, into your drink, into your being. Even through breath, you can take a breath in of loving, higher vibrational, higher dimensional energy. All right. Yes, intention is everything. You are right, Frank, 100%. Your intention and what you bring to the spaces that you're in, whether it's eating, drinking, sleeping, being, whatever it is, the intention that you bring creates. Okay, I just heard back to the grounding exercise where we connected to that divine creative energy that's in the earth. When we bring that intention to the space that we want to, our intention is to have that higher vibrational energy, we are automatically put in that creative mindset in order to create that higher vibrational energy. So, yes. All right. Is there anything else for right now? No, I just heard you are loved. Just point blank, you are loved. All right, I'm going to grab my little notebook and write, I don't know where to put my little notebook. If you would like a reading, your own individual reading, I'm